ロサンゼルス・ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が敵地で行われたナショナルズとの3連戦初戦に1番指名打者で出場し、4号同点本塁打を含む3安打の活躍を見せました。初回の第1打席では相手先発の左腕マックジーゴア投手が投じた 95.7 マイル約154キロの直球を鋭く捉え、二塁手ガルシアのグラブを弾く二塁強襲の内野安打とし、3試合ぶりのヒットを記録しました。続く3回の第2打席、西一塁の場面で2ボールからの3球目、94.4 マイル約 151.9 キロの直球をフルスイング。打球は大きな弧を描き、ライト後方のナショナルズブルペンに飛び込む4号ツーランとなりました。打球速度は 113.1 マイル約182キロ、飛距離は378フィート約 115.2 メートル、角度は28度と計測され、試合を一時2対2の同点に戻す価値ある一発となりました。5回の第3打席では2ストライクからスライダーをセンターへ運び、フェンス手前でセンタークルーズがジャンプするも捕球できず、打球が点々とする間に快足を飛ばし、今季初の3塁打をマークしました。これでサイクル安打にあと2塁打を残すのみとなりました。迎えた8回の第4打席では、3番手シムズ投手とのフルカウント勝負の末、6球目の高めスイーパーを見送り見逃し三振。惜しくもサイクル安打の達成はなりませんでした。大谷の本塁打の場面では、ナショナルズ地元放送、MASN スポーツで実況を務めるボブ・カーペンター氏が、カウント2ボールの時点で、
注意しなければいけないカウントです。
と警戒感をあらわにしましたが、直後に豪快な一発を浴びる結果に、解説のケビン・フランド選手は、
素晴らしい実況です。
と苦笑しながらも、
こういう打者相手にど真ん中は通用しません。ど真ん中です。
と指摘。さらに、
でも、少しバットの先のように見えますね。
と、大谷の技術の高さに敬意を示しました。またカーペンター氏は、
これでドジャースはナ・リーグ首位の24本目の本塁打です。
と、ドジャース打線の破壊力にも驚きを隠しませんでした。この模様をドジャース側の実況と合わせて日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
With an OPS over 1,300 against right-handers with all 3 of his home runs, but against lefties hitting 200 and not doing any damage, only 4 singles in his 20 at-bats. I know it's a very small sample size, but as we saw yesterday, Shohei was really carved up by the Phillies left-hander Christopher Sanchez, and last year he had no problems against Southpaws Adrian. He hit about 290 with 12 home runs, so as a good left-handed hitter, what are some of the challenges when you're facing some of the good left-handed pitchers out there?
I mean, he's facing some of the best left-handers in the game. I mean, what do you expect? He's starting the season off. I really feel that come season's end, his numbers against lefties are going to be very similar. You know, right now it's a small sample size. You know, people are looking at 20 at-bats against some of the best lefties in the game. You know, going into spring training, you get an at-bat or 2 against these guys and that's it. And, you know, potentially, you know, you don't get to face their best stuff because they're not going to give you their best stuff. So now the regular season comes along, he's getting left-on-left sinkers, changeups. I know for me, there was lefties that I knew going into the game, I was just looking for a walk. I was just looking for a battle because they're guys that were sinking it in on my hands, had a great pitch to follow up with it. But guys that were forcing cutter guys or, you know, guys that were throwing more curveballs, I knew I could handle. So those guys, I was trying to be a little more aggressive and get more out of it. But when you're facing the best starters in the game, the best left-handed starters being a left-handed hitter, you're just looking to battle. You go up there with a 2-strike approach from the get-go and you just look to battle, look for a mistake, put it in play. If you try to do too much, you're going to get yourself out. That's what they do. And, you know, he's faced some of the best lefties in the game so far this season.
Yeah, listen, 20 at-bats is really a small sample size. I really believe Shohei Ohtani is going to be just fine. And Sanchez, Sale, and obviously tonight Gore, that kid for Philadelphia the first night was dealing too. So listen, you tip your hat sometimes. When they're that nasty, they're making their pitches, you move on. But I think he keeps that right shoulder a little square, a little longer, give himself a better chance. Hopefully he does that tonight. And maybe go into his Ichiro approach early before he gets to 2 strikes.
Well, and last year was actually the first time Shohei had ever played baseball at Nationals Park, and he homered in his very first game there. Jerry hit one about 450 feet, so he does have some feeling of good success there in Washington, D.C. in the past.
Yeah, you know, this pitch, I mean, I remember this like it was yesterday, John. This was a hanging combo. He hit it 127 miles an hour. Okay, maybe 119. But I tell you what, I played there. Obviously, Gonzo, you have too. That is a long way. No way that's 450 feet. It's a lot longer than that. Trust me, he was all over it. Loved the bat path. And that's a short, compact swing. An exploding swing as well. So, yes, he's got great memories. When he steps to the plate, John, he's going to remember that moment.
That home run is definitely more than 450 feet. I don't know how these StatCast trackers do it, but maybe it was 450 feet to when they hit the seat. They didn't account for the rest of the flight of that ball, but that ball was smashed. It was just, one of those lovely hanging changeups that you love to see as your swing is going through the zone.
I didn't get enough of them.
Gore out of Whiteville, North Carolina. Town of about 5,000 people, known for its high school baseball team. It's once called Baseball Town, USA. They've had such success in that small town. Muscled up the middle and a base hit for Taylor. First one of the season for Chris Taylor.
He gets to do that little Ohtani move. Good for CT again, as you mentioned, only his second start of the year, and one of those is against Chris Sale, and the other one is 45 degrees against McKenzie Gore. Go get him.
He's on. The inning continues for Ohtani, who blistered a ball his first time. And got an infield single. Ruiz keeps this one close. Just to finish off that thought about Whiteville, North Carolina, Baseball Town, USA, McKenzie shows up in high school, makes the team as a freshman. All the pressure to be the next great team, the next great player there, and he wins 3 state championships in 4 years. Continues the legacy of Baseball Town, USA. Doesn't get the call there, though, against the best player in the world, who's probably never heard of Whiteville. 2-0 to Ohtani. Is hit hard to deep right field. Call's going back at the wall. It's tied. 2 outs, 2 runs. Ohtani with a shot to lock it at 2.
Where is Whiteville?
Never heard of it.
Doing much the same as he did in his last time through Washington. This ball didn't even feel like he got it. It almost looked like it was off the end of the bat. Came off at 102 miles an hour. Pedestrian home run for Shohei, only 380 feet.
Number 4 of the year for Ohtani. Back to square one here.
You were just mentioning about how, things can mask the defense. And you were talking about the home runs, and you hit it right on the head. Good producing.
Dodgers now out homering their opponents 24-5. Tommy Edman.
I was going to say, I think it illustrates too the importance of that number 9 spot. CT getting on base, turning things over. Ohtani hitting with a pitcher in the stretch. It just, hasn't been the case. Ohtani taking full advantage of it.
Bottom 3 in the Dodger order, 139 average so far this year, with the 3rd lowest OPS in baseball.
I mean, that was a story last year for quite a while, right? And it obviously, look, you got to get everybody producing, but it's so important because you've got Ohtani and Betts at the top of the lineup. They can get any kind of production down low. It just changes the entirety of this offense.
Let's check in with Kirsten Watson.
Joe, all the talk right now has been about the celebration, the new one from this ad from Decorte that Shohei Ohtani took part in. But the best part about this is that Shohei actually started this. So the first time the celebration came out was when he hit the home run. But Joe, I'm actually going to send it back to you because I do see Thomas Albert going out to the field to check on Dustin May. So I'm going to have you take this over real quick, just in case.
Okay. Appreciate it, Kirsten. Someone out there to make sure May was okay after that ball was hit back and ricocheted off him. It looks like he's okay. Kirsten, do you have more on that?
Yes, so Shohei Ohtani was the one who actually started it. Many of the guys weren't exactly sure where it came from. They saw the commercial, they saw the wink. That's the part that's been missing. But I told them the camera does get close enough. So if you want to give us the wink, we'd love to see it as well, guys.
I think the wink is what really does it. Ruiz, check over to first on Garcia. It's useful to think about, kind of use this as a chance to think about how far Ohtani's come in terms of settling into his new team and comfort with his teammates compared to where it was a little more than a year ago when he first got here. There wasn't any winking going on. Winking and DeCorte ads on home runs.
Look, the reality is there was a wall there. There was a wall, and we all know what that wall was. And
there goes Garcia.
With Ohtani stepping in, K-Bear keeps it in front. Hot shot off the glove of Luis Garcia Jr. trying to make a backhanded stab first time.
And if he doesn't get that, if he doesn't get a glove on it, it's a double.
Yeah, good call on the angle for sure.
Great pitch. Now that's the pitch that has really changed what McKenzie Gore has been against lefties this year. It's a bigger, wider. If you think about the horizontal break on that on the slider, it's a beauty. He threw such good ones against the Phillies.
Danger count.
Great call.
And a ball to right. And Ohtani has tied this game. 4th of the year, and that's the first one he's hit that hasn't been a solo.
Yeah, well, right against guys like this, middle is not going to work. Right down the chute.
Dodgers hit their National League leading 24th. And McKenzie Gore gives up his 2nd home run of the year. Next up, Mookie Betts. Wow, what a coincidence. Japanese Heritage Night and he hits a homer.
Well, goes along with his 2 bobblehead nights he's hit walk-offs on. And we talked about this the other day. He had his 40-40 game, he hit a grand slam. I think it was a walk-off grand slam. Bobble night walk-off. Another walk-off the other day, but his 50-50, he was 6 for 6. No big deal.
I think he probably just does cool stuff pretty much every day. It's just a coincidence that there's a giveaway.
試合は4対6でドジャースが敗れましたが、試合後、大谷選手は
雰囲気自体は悪くない。切り替えて戦っていきたい。
と前向きなコメントを残しました。ご視聴ありがとうございました。これからも大谷選手のさらなる活躍から目が離せません。チャンネル登録と高評価をよろしくお願いします。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。